Specifically, the court today overturned laws in Texas and Georgia and ruled the government has no right to enter into a decision which should be made by the mother and her doctor.
Roe versus Wade. You may not know what that means. It was a landmark 1973 Supreme Court decision that established a woman's legal right to an abortion. The court ruled that a woman's right to choose an abortion was protected by the privacy rights guaranteed by the 14th Amendment. Understanding the final consensus of this case is extremely important. In 2019, through January 1st to May 15th, Alabama, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi, Ohio, Missouri, Arkansas, and Utah had made new abortion laws, making them illegal. These laws state that if a woman decides to leave the state for an abortion, they can get arrested, as well as the accomplices. There are two spectrums of abortion. There are the most used reasons, such as young moms, rape cases, bad endings in birth, unfit mothers, uncertain financial stability, possible stillborns, and a stop to potential murder of newborns. And then there's the most common reason, birth control failing. 9% of birth control fails. That may seem low, but that means 1 in 100 women experience failed birth controls. In 2014, about 51% of abortion patients in the United States reported that they had used a contraceptive method in the month they became pregnant. 1.5% of abortions are caused by rape and/or incest. Although abortion rates for teens under age 15 was 2 per 1,000, lower than the rates for teens ages 15 to 17 and ages 18 to 19, 5.5 and 18 per 1,000, it's important to recognize teen abortions and the possibility for it. Many women who get abortions are working women in their 20s. In 2015, this demographic had the highest abortion rates according to the CDC.
Or 20 weeks, it's up to her.
Anti-abortion supporters, changed to pro-life supporters, have a main belief as to why abortion should be illegal. It's murder and against God. They also state that it causes psychological damage to the mother. It can be unsuccessful in 5% of cases, meaning there needs to be further surgery. There can be side effects that correlate with those of a miscarriage, and again, their religious beliefs say that a child is alive at conception.
Do you think abortion should be legal or illegal?
I believe that everyone should have a choice of what to do. I mean, me personally would not abort a child if it were up to me, but in the long run, it's not just me in this whole world, and there's a lot of different people which have the right to their own choices. So I don't agree with every state having those laws.
If someone had an abortion, would you see them differently?
No. They have different values. They have different. They live under different circumstances. It's not up to me to decide what's right and what's wrong.
Okay. Do you think abortion should be legal or illegal?
I think they should be legal.
How come?
I feel like every person has the right to be able to do whatever that they choose.
If someone had an abortion, would you see them differently?
No, I wouldn't.
Would you get an abortion if needed under certain circumstances?
Yes, I would, personally.
Think abortion should be legal or illegal?
It should be, it's hard to take a stance on it, honestly. I think if you should be given the choice to whether or not to have life or be given the choice to give up life.
So you think it should be legal?
I can go both ways.
If someone had an abortion, would you see them differently?
No, I would see them as just the same. They do choices just like any other person, and I feel like they handle things in their personal life just the way any other person would.
Say you were a girl, right? Would you get an abortion if needed under certain circumstances?
Under certain circumstances, yes. Needed, depends on the person I somehow did it with, I guess.
We did a survey to see what teenagers believed. We came to a consensus that 68.7% believe that abortion is always and/or usually morally acceptable. Many who were in agreement with abortion said that women have every right to what they want to do with their bodies. One survey taker said, "We should try to prevent abortion as much as possible by promoting safe sex practices, birth control, etc. But we can't fully ban them, as people who want abortions will find unsafe ways to perform them." Those who aren't in agreement with abortions said things along the line of, "You are killing a fetus, and there's always Plan B and other things that would stop the growth of a fetus."
Do you think abortion should be legal or illegal?
Illegal.
Why?
Because as I am a religious person, I go by the Bible, and it's under the Bible that I cannot, and its life begins at conception. And so that means that, abortion should not be allowed, because in the Bible it says that life becomes a conception. And so because life starts, we cannot kill. And abortion by our laws is known as a killing. And so we cannot kill a human being.
Would you get an abortion if needed under certain circumstances?
No.
Okay. And if someone had an abortion, would you see them differently?
I wouldn't see them differently. I would just see their mortals differently. I see people differently. Like, if someone gets an abortion, I don't see them as like, I won't hate on them. I won't like say that they're a really bad person. I will just stand against their decisions.
Do you think abortion should be legal or illegal?
Legal.
How come?
Because, well, I think that women deserve a chance to like own their own bodies, and they deserve to make that decision, not the government.
Okay. If someone had an abortion, would you see them differently?
No.
And would you get an abortion if needed under certain circumstances?
Yes.
Do you think abortion should be legal or illegal?
It should be legal because people have their own decisions, and we should have it like in the open for everyone.
Okay. If someone had an abortion, would you see them differently?
No, because it's their choices and their beliefs.
Would you get an abortion if needed under certain circumstances?
If, like, let's say I got raped or something, then yes, I would get an abortion because it wasn't my fault and I'm not ready.
Do you think abortion should be legal or illegal?
I think it should be illegal because that's like killing a baby right there. You know, a kid. It's not right.
Okay. And why do you think that?
I think that because it's, even though it's not like there yet, well, it's there, but like not alive, talking yet, it's still like a kid. So, and that's a murder. If you kill babies, that's murder, right? Same thing with this. You're killing the baby.
If you were a girl under certain circumstances, such as a rape case, or if you and the baby were sick and there's a chance you could die giving birth, would you get an abortion?
No, I would not. Because if I did that, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. I'll be full of regret of killing an innocent little guy that never had a chance to live.
Do you think abortion should be legal or illegal?
Legal.
How come?
Because as I've grown up, there's like a lot of kids that go through things like rape, and some of them end up pregnant. So to have the rapist's baby would be like traumatizing.
Okay. If someone had an abortion that you knew, would you see them differently or love or respect them any less?
Keep going. I wouldn't see them differently. I'd try and treat them the same.
Okay. Do you think abortion should be legal or illegal?
That's very difficult because I do believe that abortion is murder, and so therefore it should be illegal. But if I were a politician, I would not make it illegal. Because, like, what's going to happen? Like, right now, like, Georgia's made abortion illegal. Do they really think it's going to stay like that way forever? Of course not. The next 10 years, it's going to be reversed, and all this will be for nothing. However, people that are pro-choice are not pro-abortion. Nobody's saying, let's have more abortions. Yeah, thousands of abortions, I love them. No. So both sides essentially want the same thing. Less abortions. And so I wish instead of saying, let's make it illegal, let's make it legal, they could just work together. Because there is a lot that both sides could do and accomplish together that would actually reduce the abortion and have women like still have choice. Like, for example, I believe it might have been 2005. It was a while ago. It was like 10 years ago, maybe? No, it wasn't. Maybe it was 3 years ago. Colorado made birth control legal, free, and anonymous for high school girls. And it wasn't condoms, it was like something you insert that like is more permanent. And that lowered the abortion rate for teens significantly, like tens and tens of percentages. And so that's something that would make pro-choice people happy because women still have their choice, and pro-life people happy because there's less abortions. And I wish that we could come up with more stuff like that instead of making it illegal. I don't believe that abortion should be illegal because it's unwise, even though I do kind of believe it should be illegal because it's murder. That's just not, I don't know, that just sounds counterproductive.
Okay. If someone you knew had an abortion, would you see them differently?
Interesting. So if I knew somebody who got an abortion, would I see them differently? I mean, I mean, it really depends on the person, you know? Like, if, like, let's say one of my closest friends who, like, I would think would never get an abortion got an abortion, then of course it would change my opinion of them. It's like, oh, wow, you aren't like the person I thought you would. But some people, like, I would not think of them differently. It wouldn't surprise me. I think, sorry to criticize your question. Maybe a better question would be, would I love them less, or respect them less, or trust them less? And no, I wouldn't. I would still love them. They'd still be the same level of friend to me.
Okay. And if you were a girl, right? If, like, there were certain circumstances, like something bad had happened to you or something, would you get an abortion under those circumstances, or would you decide to keep the baby?
So, for me, I'm going to talk about pro-choice for a little bit right now. So, the fundamental difference between pro-choice and pro-life is not that the pro-lifers don't want people to have choice, and isn't that the pro-choicers hate people being alive and hate life. The real difference is, what does it mean to be a life? All right? Now, if we could really come to a conclusion on that, I actually believe that we would be able to work together better. So, like, for example, like a pro-lifer would say, oh, well, the Bible says, somebody who has read through the whole Bible several times, I cannot point to you a Bible verse that says when it starts becoming a human. Because I am personally convicted that it is alive before being born. At some point, because I feel like everybody would agree that aborting the day before the baby is born is worse than like a morning after pill.
Oh, yeah.
There is some level where it is pretty alive. I would say I would almost always keep the baby. Now, it's hard for me to say because I'm not in this person's shoes.
Yeah.
But I would say I would probably keep the baby unless it were going to kill me. And even then, if it was really late, well, not really late, if there was a really good chance of the baby surviving, I might still sacrifice my life for it, because who am I to say that my life is more important than this other human's life?
Okay.
But if it's like they're definitely going to die no matter what, and I will die if I had the baby, then I would abort.
Abortions are a fundamental right for women, and the legality of them should not be decided by the government rather than the woman herself. We should find ways to provide easier and cheaper access to birth control to continue decreasing the level of abortions, as well as fight to remove the laws. Because laws are not going to halt the amount of abortions. It's just going to lower the amount of sanitary and medically approved procedures.